What up, everybody? This is Dregs One. Welcome to a very special episode of the History of the Bay podcast. Got to give a big shout out and thank you to Ghazi and the folks at Empire for providing us with this new space. We really appreciate it, and we had to kick this off right with a very special episode with a very special guest. This guy is a Bay Area icon. He's one of the fabrics of the Bay Area music scene, not just the music scene, the entire community. The crown prince of hyphy movement, but he's evolved into so much more than that. I mean, you really cannot talk about the Bay Area without talking about the one and only Mr. F.A.B.
Man, what an introduction, man. I appreciate that. How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great.
Been doing a great job, man. Watching everything that you've been doing, building great content, stepping in and being what we've needed for Northern California to highlight, the history. Unfortunately, nowadays, a lot of people don't study, so they don't get a chance to know some of the things that you've brought back to our attention. And big fan of the show and, happy to be on it.
I really appreciate it, bro. And you've been supportive since day one. We had that really funny phone call a couple years ago about Ant Banks. I don't know if you remember that.
For sure, I remember.
Shout out to Ant Banks and Too Short.
For sure. Definitely. The OGs called me, man. Hey, man, talk to him, man. What's going on, man? Talk to him, man. So, just a beautiful position, man, to be in, where I am and where I sit on this Bay Council. And I'm just happy to continue to keep working forward and continue to keep ascending and, accepting what's next.
Yeah, no doubt. One thing I was thinking about as I was preparing for this interview is that you're actually not much older than me, so we have a lot of generational similarities in terms of, actually loving and appreciating some of the same eras of Bay Area rap.
Right.
And I think it's cool to see that you've done a good job of it's always interesting when you step from being a fan into actually being a participant and then to actually being part of the fabric of this whole culture.
Right. That's the story of my life, and I don't think that I'll ever stop being a fan, a fan of new artists, fan of artists that have laid down the blueprint for me to be able to work as diligently as I've been working. I'm definitely humbled and appreciative to be able to continue to keep moving forward. But none of it would have happened if it wasn't for the forefathers that have laid down the blueprint. And so I'm forever grateful for those guys. As you say, we pay homage to the bricklayers. And I think that they get lost in popularity, when people feel as if it's not their time anymore and things of that nature, Bathgate told me something one day that will always stay with me for the rest of my life. And he said that a gold medal in 1968 is still a gold medal in whatever year it is.
I love that.
And so don't forget about the gold medalist just because it's your turn now to wear the gold. Like, your gold medal doesn't mean much more than my gold medal. We both gold medalists.
Right.
And there are a lot of gold medalists that get forgotten about and people give them bronze treatment, which isn't fair. So those that are, the predecessors and the inherited, they must continue to always show love to those that have done it before them.
1,000%, and that's a bar right there. And another reason I'm excited to get you on the podcast today is I was looking around, and obviously you've done a lot of media, a lot of interviews over the years, but I feel like you haven't done too many super in-depth to the beginning, middle, and the end of the Mr. F.A.B story. So I really want to do a deep dive into your history, since this is the history of the Bay.
For sure. Still writing it. As the author of my story, I think it's imperative that when writing your story, never relinquish the pen. Because unfortunately, we allow other people to tell our story, and sometimes their journalistic obligations are only opportunities.
Yeah, man.
But they're not really rooted in truth. So it's always great to be able to still be able to tell your own story. So in the telling of my story, I'm happy to be a narrator, an author, and participant, curator, and so more so here to just be able to say, this was true, that wasn't true, this was misconstrued, that was propaganda, so I'm here for it.
Beautiful. Well, I want to start at the very beginning, maybe even before the beginning, because your parents have interesting stories as well. So maybe explain a little bit about before you came around, who they were and how they met and where they were from. What's their story?
Oakland and Berkeley/Oakland. My father was kind of like, we kind of mirrored the same kind of like upbringing, right there on the cusp of North Oakland, Berkeley. Um, Father was a fly dude, super player type dude, man. Very intelligent though, artful, skilled, a man of many things. Far more things than what he became popular for. Um, and my mother was the same. My mother was a hustler, a young girl that was just trying to find her way. Ran away from home at 13. Come from a big family, sisters, 10 sisters, one brother, big family. But decided at a young age that she wasn't going to adhere of the military rule that my grandfather ran. My grandfather was very militant, very strict, great provider, but very strict. One of those old grandfathers that was like, this my house, my rules, my way. And at an early age, my mother wasn't going for it. She wasn't going for that abusive lifestyle, whether it be verbally abusive or physically abusive, however it may have been. And so she went on her own at 13 years old, out in the streets, doing what she had to do to survive, hustling, grinding, whatever she had to do. Unfortunately, she jumped into adulthood prematurely, which many people from that generation did. They were forced to be older than what they had to be, and they didn't get a chance to have a just childhood. And so they sacrificed their childhood for a premature adulthood, and things come with that. You develop a lot of stuff in this world. You pick up things, the art of hustling, the habits, the bad decision making, choices. Got into that. They met. It was funny. They met. He met her when she was younger. She was working at a McDonald's, and she had moved away. She was like, "Man, I'm out of here." And he came down. He went down to L.A. to go grab her. Like, nah, like you ain't leaving me, man. We feel me. Something here. So they had a crazy connection, man. They would fuss and fight, and they were growing up. They were kids, man. They were kids. My dad had already had my older brother, older sister. They just, it's the cat and mouse game. But it was something about their relationship, the maturation of it. They had me. And at that time, the game was changing. My dad was in and out of the feds, federal penitentiary. My brother was in and out of jail, in and out of juvenile hall. My mom trying to do, my mom, picked up a drug habit, doing those things, and trying to get on the right track. Pops had a drug habit. And it was just crazy. It was just, the lifestyle of 70s, 80s, early 90s. The beauty of it is they birthed a special child, and it was inevitable for me to be who I am today with both of them coming together. Their hustling, their intelligence, their skills, their talent, their appearance, their morals, their beliefs, what they stood for. Everything was instilled in me. And I think I took more of the good from them than some of the bad. And, when I was born, it was so crazy. Like, it was only a couple things that I kept that my father gave me, like physically. It was a picture that he painted for me and my cousin, JDK, out of Sac. He painted this picture with stars. It was like Grace Jones and Michael Jackson and James Ingram. It's the picture's in the store today. But it was the picture that he painted when he was in the federal penitentiary, and he drew it. And he gave me one, and he gave my cousin one. And later on, I felt like I decoded the picture, and the picture was, always keep this around because you're going to be around the stars one day. He wrote me a letter. And for several years, I don't know where that letter is now. I think it maybe lost in moving and things like that. But in this letter that he wrote me, he was like, man, out of all my children, you the chosen one. And this was the letter that he wrote. And it was crazy that I had kept that letter for a long time, and my mom didn't know I kept it. And I showed it to her one day, and she was just like, wow. And I live by that. You know, I live by that. I live by my daddy's last child, but the one to keep the legacy going, keep the name going, and, you know, come through in the clutch. So a lot of pressure as a kid, you know. My dad died when I was 12. So I really didn't, you know, a few memories, bright spots, bright moments. But there's certain stuff you keep with you, you know. I respect the things, you know, that the times that I do remember. And yeah, man, you know, Pops died. Mom's got clean. Mom's dedicated her life to, you know, her whole thing was, if I can get a dope man my money, I could give the same amount of energy into investing in my son. And so growing up, what we would be called, what I would be considered ghetto spoiled. You know, I was the kid that...
Yeah, he was a Jordan baby.
Yeah, you know, I was the kid that had all the shoes, I had all the, you know, all the material stuff that would boost the kid's confidence. Not knowing that, you know, we were a paycheck away from being evicted. You don't realize you're poor when you're young. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? Especially when your mom is just blossom, you know, you getting...
She was making it happen.
Making it happen, man. 3 jobs, 4 jobs, like, you know what I'm saying, hustling on the side, selling pills, selling syrup, whatever, you know what I'm saying, all kind of stuff, man, just so I could, you know, go to school and be fresh. And it was crazy because, you know, a lot of people would always ask her, man, why you spoil that boy like that? And, you know, you gonna make him this, you gonna make him that, you gonna create a monster. And her rebuttal always was, y'all didn't say nothing when I gave all my money to the dope man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't say nothing when I was around here getting high and around here stealing and scamming and, you know, to get high. Y'all wasn't saying nothing. So don't worry about my relationship with my son and what I'm doing for my son. And she invested in me, man. She invested in me. She invested in me not only with just buying me things, but she invested in me with love and concern, and she prepared me for the life that I'm living now. You know, I found the book about a year ago, and she wrote in the book, she said, I hope that this book helps you become a rich man. And she wasn't talking about just rich in wealth. You know, the abundance of richness is intelligence, morality, integrity, empathy, sympathy, all of the wraparound services that come with being rich. You know, some people are so poor, all they have is money. And when you understand that rich doesn't just mean having money, because it's a lot of poor people that's filthy rich.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And no pun to my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying the terminology, filthy rich. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, my mom and my parents, they both invested in me and did a lot. It worked. It worked. I can still say that it definitely works because, you know, things that they taught me at a young age, I carry with me. And to be the glue for the family. You know, it's crazy that we do this interview here. My brother's here in the background. My brother just did 17 years, 18 years. Really, keep it a buck. Really, he did like a straight 30 piece. Like if we keeping it a buck, because he got out. He was home like 11 months, almost a year. And then he had extended yard time for 11 months. You know what I'm saying? And he got out. Then he went back for this last 17. So really, damn near like a 30 piece.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to have him back home, I felt like was the missing link to me walking into the next phase of purpose. You know, you deal with life and tears and things of that nature. And so in this tier, in this phase of purpose, I feel like this is the one where, you know, Neo becomes the one. You know what I'm saying? So to those that have seen, that have been impressed or that have been watching thus far, hey man, the game just about to start getting good.
It's very powerful, bro. Thank you for speaking so openly about it. What I'm taking from that conversation is that you were surrounded by, you had parents that were in the streets, but you were able to distill the positive benefits and learn from some of the negative stuff they were doing, and kind of just that, for good or bad, that put you on your pathway. And something I noticed just growing up too is like you often have kids in really bad circumstances, and that might lead them down destructive paths. But you also have other kids who might be in the same or worse circumstances, and some of where they end up depends on the choices that they make, or what's their spirit or their soul, or just whatever God has planned for them. So I think it's powerful to hear you speak on it, because it shows that you defied the odds in many ways.
I think it's a blessing. I think the biggest conundrums that we deal with coming from where we come from is that we've all adopted the mentality that we're products of our environment.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Right.
You're products of your decisions,
right.
Your choices.
Right.
You become a product of your choices and your decisions that you make. My family I didn't want to go to jail. My brother did enough time for me. You know what I'm saying? My brother and my father did enough time for me. I knew that I didn't want to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the worst thing that you can do is end up being a cellie. You know what I mean? In a situation with a person, and now, you know, that's a debunked delivery, you know?
Yeah.
To me, it's like, well, you supposed to be the one to help me get out, or you supposed to be the one that when I do get out, at least I come home with something.
Yeah.
You know, don't come join me.
Right. Don't be my co-defendant.
Don't be my Cody. You were my cellie now. So, you know, the beauty of that is, even from afar, he was able to have such an influence on me, and he being my brother, by being able to, you know, deter me away from prison by just conversations and, you know, and things that, you know, of what he was going through. Like, bro, you don't want to come up here.
Yeah.
This ain't it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fearful tactics. Man, if you don't go back to school, man, I'm gonna get on you. I'm gonna get on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Things like that, where you be like, oh man, bro, gonna get on me. You be like, nigga, this nigga got to tell Buck Rogers numbers. What you mean? How you gonna get on you? But when you're young, you don't know.
Yeah.
And it worked.
For sure.
It worked effectively. And then my mother, man, you know, my mom, like I said, she did everything she could, so I didn't have to go down the road to feel accepted. You know, most of my homies start hustling for Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they was grinding was for material things. It wasn't really the money. It was more so they could go buy things to be cool.
Yeah.
You know? And I had already had those things. So I didn't feel like a need to go out and go do the extra just to get the things that I had already had.
Absolutely.
All the stuff that my folks was hustling for, my mama was hustling and working for me. So I was like, I ain't got to go do that.
Yeah.
So I never had a need for that. And then deep down, when we really dive into the dichotomy of it, I never wanted to sell crack because I never wanted nobody feeling how I felt about people. I didn't want no kid feeling about
enabling your mother's addictions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dudes that sold my mama drugs, I wanted to kill them.
Right.
I was like, man, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I had a real deep hate in my heart.
Right.
For dudes like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, dude. And I never wanted a kid to feel about me how I felt about them.
Wow. I think that's another part that gets lost in the conversation when you talk about the dope game, is actually you're selling poison to people.
Sure.
So that needs to be said as well. Another thing that I feel like has had a big impact on you is just the neighborhood of North Oakland. Speak on that real quick, because we got a lot of viewers from around the world, so I want to take them there so they can kind of see what that was like for you as a child.
My city, you know, I grew up in an area where We had a couple rappers from my area. This is the history of the Bay, so we gonna get a history of.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, what was the Bums?
For sure.
Okay, the Bums
sure.
was repping North Oakland.
Evolve. Evolve. Wise. You know what I'm saying? For sure, North Oakland. You know what I'm saying? Like Vol to us was like a superhero. Vol was signed with Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
And his brother was like our first producer growing up. My first producer, Do Damage, was Evolve's brother, his little brother. But like to us, he was huge. He was like, bro, your brother was Sway. Your brother on like, you know what I'm saying? Your brother huge. Your brother on Tommy Boy. Like your brother be on Rap City. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we seen your brother videos. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so Vol was representing and Do Damage would be making beat tapes and come giving them to us in high school. And we would be, making songs over his beats and selling tapes in school. You know what I'm saying? We were selling tapes in high school. Creating a fan base at an early age. So, Vol was from the North, and then Father Dom.
Father Dom is from North Oakland.
Yeah, yeah. So Dom was like, Dom was our spokesman at the time. You got to think, this when the Dangerous Crew was thriving.
Oh, Father Dom was shining.
What?
Yeah, Cell Block compilation.
Dom was shining. Yeah. So Dom was like, you know what I'm saying, man, from the North. So if you got a chance to see Dom, you would be juiced, like, oh, that go Dom. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, flossing is the way. Like, we'll tell your baby mama, leave me alone. Like, you like, oh, Dom from the North. Like, so, and then there was a few other low rappers, here and there. But those two were like, you know what I'm saying? They were big accomplishments for us. So me being from the North, I always wanted to be like a person that let people know, like, hold on, we the town too. Like, we you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because North Oakland gets left out. When people think of Oakland, they mostly think of East Oakland.
Right.
Then you go West Oakland, there's some history there, the Panthers and all that. Right. But people kind of lose sight of North Oakland.
But the North Oakland had the history of the Panthers as well. Like, one of the first houses on 46 and West, like, was right there in the North where, the Panthers actually started in North Oakland.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? When we do the history of the Panthers started in North Oakland. When Huey and Bobby was going to Merritt, and Merritt was in North Oakland back then. So big history, you know what I'm saying? Big history in the city, but it was always very prideful to be where I'm from, and I feel like that was back then. That was my advantage and my disadvantage. My advantage was I was from an area where wasn't too many people getting a lot of love, and so I was able to push. But the town accepted to be like, damn, is the rest of the town going to accept it? Is they going to accept somebody from the North? Like, you know what I'm saying? What they going to do? So we fought diligently to continue to keep pushing, man, and keep going. I didn't have any major cosigns coming out. It was me, Gary, and Jazzy. We was pushing our line, pulling up, and they would be like, damn, who, like, what you doing? Like, I see you.
So I want to get to that for sure. But before we get into that area, I want to actually go into, like, what actually, you mentioned selling tapes and stuff. What got you started with rapping, and then when did you know that you were nice at it?
When I first started rapping, I didn't like my voice. Super high pitch. I was like, damn, I don't got a dope rapper voice. At least I didn't think I had one. And Chauncey, one of my mentors, took me to the studio. I think I was in like the fifth grade, and he was like, she was like, man, come on, just lay it down. He's like, man, you dope, you sound dope, man, you clean. I just freestyling. I got into writing when my daddy died. My dad died. My brother said something the other day. He was like, bro, if daddy wouldn't have died, you would have never started rapping. I was like, what? He was like, nigga, what you was gonna talk about? I was like, oh, that's a good point. So when dad died, that gave me a big point of just to start writing my feelings down, writing the stuff that I was going through down. So I started rapping, and then when Chance first took me to the studio, Chance took me to Lindell's studio. And I was like 4th, 5th grade. I was like, damn, like, okay, it was my first time like hearing myself. Like, ooh, like, all right. And I didn't like my voice at first. It was super high pitch. But then I just start going. And then one of my homeboys was like, bro, use your voice as an instrument. that's good that you don't sound like nobody else. That's good that, you know what I'm saying, you got your own style. Use it as an instrument. And so I began to learn how to cultivate my voice into being another instrument and just working on it. And we was already popular in school. We was popular in school just because we played sports, and like I say, we was the pretty boys. We was the fly. I was always saucy. He was dressed. Always saw all the girls that already liked us. So selling tapes was easy. They would be like, what y'all got going on? Like, oh man, we selling these tapes. Like it was even time where we selling pictures. We'd go take pictures and sell pictures to the girls and stuff. And like, so we had already had a fan base just going through the schools because the girls liked us. You know what I'm saying? And so that became the start of our entrepreneurialism, just hustling, selling tapes. Mondo, Lamar, Theo, me, Zoe, like we was always just, we was pushing, man. We was pushing that thing. And my boy Mondo, AC was like a real innovator. Like we would go to Mondo house. Mondo had an old boombox in his room. He broke off some headphones, put it on the wall. That was the mic. And we would like, that was our studio. We'd be recording in Mondo room. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was innovative, man. He would come up with ideas on how we could do. He's like, how you do the dubs? How you do the ad-libs? Stop it. Put this tape over here. Switch this tape. If you mess up, you're going to mess up the whole tape. So, you know what I'm saying? When you went to the lab, you had to have everything together. Mm-hmm. So it was dope, man, being able to be recording in Mondo house. Shout out Mama Jack, man, because she allowed us. She believed in our dreams, man. She used to she'd be like, y'all better shut up in there making all that noise. But when she saw what we was doing, Mama Jack, she was like, she respected it, man. She respected it, and we would be selling the tapes. AC was a genius, man. AC was pushing, and we'd go back. He was like a star. He was a star athlete. He played football and he played basketball. And AC was the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to be like AC. Like, AC was like, he was that dude. He'd come to the games. He'd dye his hair. He'd be at the games. He'd drop like 35. Then we go to the house party. Like, all the girls be on us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. So it was fun though, man. But that started, like, I think that gave us the rap bug. That gave you the rap bug. When you got bit by the rap bug, you're like, oh, I got fans. Like, I'm popping. I'm rocking the house party. They like perform at the house party. So, it was cool, man. Them days was dope, man. But it was it prepared me for what was to come, man. Perpetuation of where we got and where we took with it. And I feel like one of the reasons why it's just like water under the bridge now. You just, you be so calm now because you be like, bro, I've been kind of like
prepared.
I've been prepared. I've been doing this for hella long.
Right.
For real.
Right. So that developed, because one thing I was saying is that you have a confidence about you. So that confidence developed during that time, and that led you to seek out, and if I'm skipping anything, but let me know, but that led you to seek out Jim and Gary Archer.
Nah, one more before that. So after the high school era, with like AC and the F.A.B. So we had a crew when we was young called the F.A.B. You know what I'm saying? F.A.B. 4. It was a crew. It was me, Snoop, Theo, and Zoe, and that was our crew. Back then, everything was about crews. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had crews. Like, everybody, we would watch Juice and be like, okay, there's a wrecking crew. Like, everybody had crews back then. Mm-hmm. So it was who it was. And then you had Cuss, you had Mondo, and you had Lamar. And you had Omari, you had Tyrone, they had their crew. Everybody had crews. Then you go to Berkeley High, they had their crews. Like, everybody, so when you walk up, everybody was in crews. So you was known for your crew. Like, what was your crew was either y'all was athletes, y'all had all the girls, whatever it was like, what was your crew known for? My crew was known for the girls, athletes, and dressing, being saucy. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was like, man, them pretty boy ass niggas, man, ain't woo and trying to, you feel me, take all niggas, you know what I'm saying, chicks. So my confidence was always through the roof just based off the fact my crew was dope. Like, we busted ill moves, B. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had the Tommy Hilfiger coats, the Helly Hansen coats, the Jordans, we had all the pretty girls, man. We was ill, B. You know what I'm saying? So my crew was ill. So so that confidence was already there. But after that, I turned 18. When I turned 18, we had got some money from, when Pops had died, and they had sold my grandmother's house. And so the money that we got from there, I hooked up with EB. And EB at the time in my neighborhood was like a North Oakland producer, where he was producing all the young cats from North Oakland. He was producing Do Damage. He was, you know what I'm saying? And Do Damage was producing Beat Those. Shice at the time was Lil Dre. Lil C. So like they was they crew. They was from the Six. And EB was like the producer there. EB had the studio, and everybody would go over there and record, and he had the beats. So me and EB hooked up, and I took all the money that, you know what I'm saying, that I was getting from there, that I had got from my pops, a couple dollars, nothing really too crazy, but you know what I'm saying. I took that money and invested in myself, invested in my, you know what I'm saying, my music dream. So me and EB had cooked up a project that I was in the streets just selling, just grinding hand for hand, see, you know what I'm saying? And that, I ran into Rick Martin. Rick Martin was working for Jazzy at the time. When I ran into Rick Martin, he was like, man, come to the studio. And Gary was there. Gary had ran the office for his brother. When I met Gary, I was just like, man, this white boy is crazy. Like, but he was like, he was down. Like, he was like, bro, he's like, oh, you rapping? You dope. He's like, man, I'm gonna come to your hood, man, come pick you up. And he had like this Honda Accord or something, a stick, and he would be pulling up to the hood. And when he first started pulling up to the hood, they just thought he was the police. Like, bro, who is this white boy keep coming through here, bro? Like, what's up, bro? We finna get on him, bro. I'm like, nah, that's my people, bro. Like, you feel me? He taking me to the lab, man. We good. He like, oh, okay. So G got the G pass in the hood. So G would come every day. He'd make sure that I was on it. He was like, man, woo, man, like, we believe in you, bro. We believe in you for real. And, man, Jazzy put up whatever. Jazzy was just like, man, whatever you want to do, let's do it. Like, so we got like a rap van. We had like a brand new Ford truck, whatever, I don't know, Expedition. You feel me? And me, Gary, and D-Ray went all everywhere, man. We drove everywhere.
Yeah, we got to shout out D-Ray, who's in the building
Ray and
with
his
us
G-thing,
right
man.
now.
You know, that's my oldest daughter. So, D-Ray, man, at the time, Ray was like, I'm riding with y'all. She didn't know what, she was like, Gary, what the hell is you doing? You ain't coming home. You ain't doing, like, what you doing? He like, man, I'm riding with F.A.B. Man, I don't give a hell who F.A.B is. What is a F.A.B? Like, Ray was tripping at the time. But so she was like, man, well, I'm finna ride with y'all then. He like, what you riding for? I don't know. I'm just making sure that you ain't doing nothing. And Ray was the crew. Then she got a camera in her hand, and then she just now she took all the pictures. She captured all the moments, and we just went everywhere, man.
And this is your debut album, Nig Latin.
So that's the second Nig Latin. Like, it was a Nig Latin in the hood that I did with EB, and then when I got with Gary and Jim, and Rick Brown, I was like, I love that name, Nig Latin. So I was like, I want to drop another Nig Latin. So that officially became my first album, Nig Latin. But gotcha. I had did one in the hood before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a demo, damn near.
Like boom, perfect. Like the demo.
So that came out actually on Straight Hits,
yep,
which is Jazzy Jim's label. That's what they was doing. Like, we had Gary on the podcast before, so he explained this is
Selecto hits.
Yeah, they were sending out like all the current hits on vinyl for the radio DJs and everything. So that's a pretty good position to be in for your first project as an independent artist. I was curious, like, what was the reception to that album at the time? How do you feel that one?
Oh, that shit went like triple wood.
It went triple wood.
Yeah, but I wasn't tripping though, because it wasn't about the sales for me. It was more so about, y'all see the footwork that we doing.
Yeah.
And it made it made people be like, man, who is this dude?
Yeah.
Like, you pulling up expedition trucks, you got your rap vehicles, you got every other week y'all doing new flyers, you in Showcase magazine. Shout out to Frank. I was in every edition of Showcase magazine. I was like, they like, who is this dude? And then you got to think, coming from where we come from, most of the rappers had dope boys behind them.
For sure.
So if you ain't have like a dope boy behind you, if you ain't had, people was really like what, like who is you?
Yeah, how you doing this?
Like, how you doing this? What, you know what I'm saying? Where you from? They're like, oh, he from North Oakland? Like, who is this? So it did exactly what we needed it to do. It made people ask questions of who is this? Who is he? And it just so happened that, I was nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the name Mr. F.A.B too is like, I feel like you have a very flamboyant personality, like, and that kind of comes across in the character of Mr. F.A.B, the rapper. Like when you hear Mr. F.A.B on a record, that comes across. When you see him, the outfits, everything. Was that like in the development process too? This persona that you were putting on?
Yeah, it was more so just like, I'm here. Like y'all gonna get a chance to meet the elephant in the room. And I'm gonna go anywhere and I'm gonna be who I am. I'm gonna represent. I might offend you with my confidence. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of that from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom had like, extreme confidence. Like, she could go in anywhere. She don't give a hell. Supermodels, bad bras, everything. She felt like she was the baddest bitch in the room.
Mm-hmm.
She walking there like, what? I was handling like, yeah, all right, y'all might look better than me, got bigger weight, what, but I'm a hustler. I'm a guy, and I'll get on anything.
Yeah.
Fast talking, slick, sweet, conniving, smile. You didn't know if it was conniving or if it was charming. You was like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? But she was like that.
That'll take you a long way.
Yeah, she was like that. And then my dad was like, my dad looked like a movie star.
Mm.
Like, he get dressed like he throwing on, you be like, damn, like this nigga right here. He just looked like one of them movie stars. He had $1 million smile, bright teeth, like, you know what I'm saying? Brush his teeth like 4 times a day. Like, he was just like, beautiful smile, dimples, nice beard, hair, nails always done, always got some Bally's or some Gucci's on. Like, he was saucy. He was one of them dudes. Even in, you know what I'm saying, in the ending days where, Pops had succumbed to AIDS, man, you know what I'm saying? But even in the ending days, he was still fly. He still like, damn, like, dude, you know what I'm saying? So I got that from my parents, like that confidence, man. So any room I walked in or any song I got on, I wanted to be like, bro, I'm the dopest, bro.
Right. Well, back then too, before the internet, that went a long way, right? Because you had to stand out. You had to get people to not just see who you are, know who you are. They had to remember who you are.
Right.
Remember the name. Oh, that's that one dude. I seen him in Berkeley. And then the other day I seen him in Frisco. And then I just seen him in Oakland. So that, especially pre-internet, that goes a long way. At what point do you start getting the attention of Mac Dre and this?
After just moving around, going city to city, working, Murder Dog magazine, Showcase magazines. At the time, my cousin, Nooch was...
Shout out to Nooch.
Nooch was, and that's my mama's sister's son. So Nooch is managing Dre at the time.
Nooch is from Vallejo?
Nooch is from Oakland.
Nooch is from Oakland,
but
okay.
Grew up in Sac.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They moved, my auntie moved to Sac. They from Meadowview. And so my auntie moved to Sac. So a lot of people be like, all right, Nooch from Sac, but Nooch from Oakland. Like, you know what I'm saying? They moved out there. My auntie was balling. Like, my auntie was the dope lady, his mama. And she was like, you know what I'm saying, them niggas was going to school in limousines and all kind of stuff. Like, they was like, auntie was you feel me? She was the dope lady. And so, Nooch and my cousin Roop Dog, they moved out to Sac. But at the time, Nooch was managing Dre. And Nooch was always like, you know, he was transitioning from D-boy to rap game. Like, man, I ain't trying to, you know, hustle no more. I want to get into the rap game. So he was doing stuff with like Sibo. He was doing stuff with 40. He was doing stuff with a lot of stuff. And him and Dre had linked, and him and Dre was just moving around. B Love and Justin Lomax, who had filmed Trill TV. That was the filmer.
Shout out to Justin Lomax.
They came to my house, to my mama house one day, doing this documentary, 23109, the exhibition of speed, the documentary. And B was like, bro, I want to get you on this documentary because when I was young, I was always in the Crest because my auntie Susie had moved to Vallejo. And I was getting to become a lot to handle from my mama. So she was like, she needed a break. So she sent me to my auntie house. So I spent summers in the Crest. So I was always cool with all the young Crest dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ray and B Love and Zach and, you know what I'm saying? This was all my cousin LaJuan people. So that's how I knew B Love, from being at the house parties, and I would be at the house parties out there showing them how Oakland dudes was dancing. Like, bro, this how we gig, and like, bro, showing them back in the day that they be like, bro, y'all be going, Cuddy, like, you feel me? So they start gigging. So me and B got cool or whatever. So B was like, make a short story shorter, B was like, man, we doing the documentary. They filmed me on the documentary. I got on the documentary. Dre seen the documentary and was like, Cuddy, your personality is crazy, because it was me and Dre doing like the narrating on the documentary.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, your personality is crazy. The alignment was a part of the assignment. My cousin like, nigga, that's my cousin. So Dre like, Cuddy, this your cousin? He like, that's my cousin. He like, bro, man, go to my auntie house. So one day they pull up to my auntie house to buy some weed. Like I said, my mom was a hustler. So they come buy some weed for my mama. So Dre like, Cuddy, your mama sell weed, Cuddy? Like, damn, Cuddy, that's crazy. He pulling up. I'm on the steps. Me and my mama grinding. We hustling. I'm selling weed. I'm like, what y'all want? Like, bro, auntie up in there? I'm like, yeah, go up in there. So I was selling some weed. He like, Cuddy, you a fool on that documentary, Cuddy. I seen it. I'm like, it's out yet. He like, no, but it's about to be. And Nooch was just like, Nooch pushed his line like, man, we finna kick it off. And Dre was like, Cuddy, I'm finna kick off this label, man. And, you more than welcome to come rock with us if you want to rock. You feel me? You already doing your own thing. And that's what ended up lining up, man. And I was doing like opening up for my cousin Roop. My cousin Roop had took me on the road with him, because Roop was doing like, Roop had a big fan base up in like up in Seattle and stuff like that. So I would just ride in a van with him I ain't had no money or nothing. I just had a spindle full of CDs. And that's how I was eating. I had about 100 CDs. And if I'm taking whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm on the road. And like I say, I was always saucy with Mouthpiece. I know I could bump me a chick somewhere. I'd be like, cuz, let me go, cuz, please. He'd be like, Pete, what you doing? Like, man, I'm like, bro, I just want to go up there, bro. Just let me get the experience. So Roop and Nooch took me on the road with him, man, and they gave me an opportunity to see it. And when I was up there, I was like, yeah, I could do this. I could do this. So I was just thankful to be, a part of the alignment where it was just like, all right, it wasn't about me. It was just like, nigga, you red shirting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You on the team, but you got a red shirt this year. But come up here and watch how the game is played. So they gave me a up close blueprint on how the game was played, man. And I'm forever grateful for that, for my cousin Root Dog, my cousin Nooch, and everybody else that, in the beginning.
Yeah, because that's really divine timing, because this is when Mac Dre's really hitting his stride as starting to blow up.
For sure.
With Denzel Washington, Trill TV, and Thiz actually on the verge of becoming like a real powerhouse label with not just Mac Dre, but the Cutthroat Committee, Ryder J. Clyde. It seemed like at the time he was recruiting talent.
For sure. He was grabbing everybody, J. Clyde was like the superstar. Like growing up, we all idolized like Jacka, my favorite rapper. So I was always like a Jack Mob Figures fan.
Yeah, Mob Figures was on superstar status.
Like they was stars to us, because they was the young dudes that was like damn. And Clyde was, to me, Clyde was just like, damn, this nigga, he got everything. He got the voice, he got the style. Ain't nobody dressing better than him. Like, he was the flyest. Like J. Clyde was like, I was like, bro. So I remember just even getting a chance to meet him, and I was like, Clyde, bro, you the dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even still to this day, cool nigga, that's what we call him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cool nigga was always the flyest. Like, you know what I'm saying? He had the dopest grills. He always had the exclusive kicks. I remember when I first saw Bapes, he the first person I saw rocking. I'm like, cuz them Converse clean. He like, nah, these ain't Converse. He like, these Bapes, boy. He like, well, I like, damn. I'm like, put me on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Clyde was always the flyest. And that was Dre, dog. Like that was Dre. Dre loved Clyde, man, and him and Huss. And so he was, he was creating a platform. One thing about Dre was Dre wanted everybody to shine. You know what I'm saying? You had Sleep Dank, you had Doobie, you had every, you know what I'm saying, all the Crest Creepers, you had everybody. You know what I'm saying? You had Diggs, you had he wanted all his folks to shine. And that was his whole thing. Like, Cuddy, we all gonna look good, Cuddy. This ain't about just me. We gonna come up 100 deep, Cuddy. 100 Benzes. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just, that was his thing. He wanted everybody to shine because he knew that if y'all pulled up looking like that, it was more money was gonna come.
Right.
And so he got the game from Uncle Nicky. Like, Uncle Nicky was like, Nickatina was like, when we first went out on tour, everybody thought it was a Dre tour, but it was really a Nickatina tour. And Nicky was like, this our market. This our chitlin market. He was like, I don't care about nothing, you know what I'm saying, east of the Mississippi. I could hit these same 10, 15 cities for the rest of my life. And that's the game he taught us.
That's definitely somebody who understands the independent rap game.
And ain't nobody bigger than Nickatina. Like, Nickatina's the GOAT, if you ask me. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm one of the chosen few that got an opportunity to be embraced by Nicky. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come to the house, come kick it with the kids, come, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing? Like, finna come get you. Where we going? Why you ask so many questions, nigga? Just be outside. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nicky, that's just how Nicky is. Like, you feel me? He like that. He pull up.
Yeah.
Woo, like, you know what I'm saying? And, man, I love that dude for real, man, because he gave us so much game, showed us so much stuff, man, and still to this day, I could call him and he gonna talk to me like Yoda. It's gonna be 3, 4, 5 minutes. But it's gonna be something that you could use.
I've heard that Mac Dre got a lot of the touring game from Dre Dog. I've heard that before.
For sure. Like, that's the true story. That's a fact. Like, Dre was like, Cuddy, this nigga Nicky, Cuddy, I ain't never seen it. I went to a show, Cuddy, and didn't see no black people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, Cuddy, this nigga something else. And that was the beauty of it, man. Like, watching that, man, and Nicky not being selfish with the game, embraced it, showed Dre the game. Like, come on, come up here. Let's go to Yakima. Let's go to, you know what I'm saying, let's go to Seattle. Let's go to Chico. Let's hit all these cities that everybody else afraid to go to, that the major artists, it ain't on their tour routes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yuba City. Let's go hit, you know what I'm saying,
right.
all of these other places. Missoula, all like, where you like, damn, we in Bellevue, we in Vancouver.
We in Montana.
For real.
Yeah.
We up here like, what? We in Billards. Like, what the hell is up here, Cuddy? But them cities are cities that's going to forever be, faithful to Northern California music. And if you, as the artist, if you continue to go up there and do them routes, the more you go, the more it grow.
Yeah, and, that's still true to this day.
To this day, man. We super thankful for those markets that have supported Northern California, and to icons like Andre Nickatina that have laid down that railroad, man. Forever grateful.
I'm glad you spoke on that. Did Mac Dre give you like a blueprint or a game plan of how it was gonna go in terms of developing you and rolling out your album and all that, or was it just?
Nah, we didn't have no blueprint. Right when we got over there, shortly after that, he passed.
How long was that between the time that you signed and the time that he passed away?
Well, you know, we from the Bay, man. We never really signed nothing.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, Cuddy, what you doing? I'm rocking with you, all right?
Right.
Yeah, you know, I signed Thiz and ENT. I never signed a contract ever.
Okay.
We never signed nothing. It was
Right,
just
right.
like, Cuddy, you fucking with me?
Right.
Fuck with you, Cuddy.
You're
All
on
right,
Thiz.
we
Yeah.
on, you on
Yeah.
Thiz.
Yeah.
I'm on Thiz. Look at Thiz. Like, we all, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was never no contract or nothing like that. But, bro, I say, let me see. Almost a year. About a year, 8 months, a good 8 months to a year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where it was, you know, it was official, where we was rocking, and a lot of stuff happened in that short time, though. A lot of stuff happened in that short time, man. And it was magical, man, because even Dre, like, he didn't know much about rollouts or nothing. He was just like, I know if I take 13 songs and I give him the walk, he gonna give me 90,000, Cuddy.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm dropping 2 albums on my birthday, Cuddy.
Yeah.
180,000 right now upon delivery. Like, so when we was seeing him get money like that, I was like, damn, I didn't get money like that. But he had already, you know, they had already knew I had already had the hustle and the grind. Like, I wasn't waiting. I was like, bro, I'm working. Like, hey, I'm in the studio every day. I'm dropping. I'm ready, baby. Like, let's drop. So I was going to put all my projects together myself. You know what I'm saying? And me and G was still just busting moves, doing what we doing, putting projects together. I had linked up with Mac Russ. Mac Russ was 40's wife's brother. And that was Miss Tracy's brother. And he linked me up with Droopy, 40's son, and I still remember going to his school. He was at high school. I pulled up. Me and Jay Nash pulled up, and he gave me a beat CD. He was like, "Man, I got one for you." So I got the beat. I put it in. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do to it. I just knew it damn near blew my dude's speakers out. It was bop, 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 bop. And I was like, this knock hella hard, but I ain't never heard a beat like this. What I'm supposed to do to this? And that was super sick with it. And I was like, damn, this crazy. Then I hooked up with Turf Talk. I linked up with Turf. Turf did a verse, and Russ was like, I'm going to get 40 on it. Now, at the time, I'm from Oakland, so I didn't know that Sick Wid It and Thiz had whatever differences or whatever. But it was some noticeable differences, because when I got 40 and when I got Turf, when I came back to the camp to let folks hear it, niggas was like, I ain't sick with it, nothing, Cuddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we ain't, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? There was some disgruntlement a little bit, where niggas like, F.A.B, we love you, Cud, but we ain't on that type of time. Like, nigga, we ain't sick with it, nothing. So it was some underlining little stuff going on. I was like, nigga, I'm from Oakland, man. I don't know nothing about, like, you feel me?
Right.
I don't know nothing about y'all politics, man. I ain't, you feel me?
Right.
I'm from Oakland, man. These two icons, two niggas I done grew up idolizing, man. I got an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with Dre. I'm keeping it lit for Dre. But, nigga, you feel me? 40, this somebody we grew up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's huge.
Hey, man, I don't know what the politics was. But at that time, that record was, it was a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air. Me and 40 often talk about, we talk about the record because we talk about how, as much as it introduced me to a lot of folks, you know what I'm saying, with his assistance and him being on that record, it also gave him a second win.
Yeah, he's always good for that, for identifying some younger talent to link up with.
Right.
And, you know, as an OG, as you get older, you kind of got to reach back down and realign yourself with the people that's coming up behind you.
For sure. So that kicked off a whole new wave for him.
Yeah.
Like, Super Sick Wid It kicked off a lot of stuff for 40. That kind of gave him a whole new little, it was like, this gave him a different little, you feel me? With the you feel me. So we that ended up being the song of the summer.
Yeah, I remember that. I was probably in high school when that dropped, 2005?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2005.
So I was in high school at the time, and I think as being such a huge Mac Dre fan at the time, I think it was exciting because it was like, all right, this is what's next for this.
Right.
Like this is still here. Like they ain't Dre's passed, but we gonna keep it lit.
Yeah, that came in.
I never heard of this dude, Mr. F.A.B, before, but this shit knocks. He's tight. Let's throw this on.
That came in. That took things by storm because it was like this.
Yeah.
And Sick Wid It. It was like.
You got to ride that momentum,
yeah,
too.
Everybody knew Sick Wid It. Like, Sick Wid It was already a notable name. If you was a Dre fan, you knew Thiz, but now it's on the radio every day.
Yeah.
We performing it at Summer Jam. They like, damn, we did everything but a video for that record.
Oh, yeah, no video, huh?
Yeah, we couldn't afford videos back then.
Yeah,
videos
it was expensive.
Like,
yeah,
super expensive. So we might definitely, like, you know.
Might have to go back and,
shoot one. Might have to shoot one for it, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it kicked it off. That was a kickoff of the Yellow Bus movement that, you know, that took stuff to another level. Then 40 sampled that record, and then he dropped like a filler record where he sampled I Do the Dummy Retarded and Ride the Yellow Bus, and that was like his single that came back after that. And then Tell Me When to Go.
Right. So that's the whole birth of the hyphy movement, which of course we got to talk about. But I wanted to also ask you about Son of a Pimp, that album. So that single kind of catapulted that album, right?
Sure.
You said Nig Latin was double wood, but Son of a Pimp was Billboard charting, correct?
Probably did something.
Probably something like that.
It did something cool.
did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, but even with Nig Latin, I never want to disrespect what Nig Latin's impact was.
Nah, we don't look at sales as
like they
how
say,
good
you know,
an
they say
album
men
is.
lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, but numbers don't always tell the whole story.
Well, Cormega says men lie, women lie, numbers can be altered.
And numbers can be altered.
Yeah.
But even numbers won't always just talk about the impact of something.
Of course, yeah.
Of how influential something can be.
Some of my favorite records barely left San Francisco,
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at Instant Vintage, Raphael Sadiq album, probably only sold like 30, 40,000, but it won multiple Grammys.
Yeah.
Won a lot of stuff. It was an amazing record.
For sure.
So, Nig Latin was able to make me somebody that put a lens on. But it was like, damn, who is this dude? May not be selling a lot of records, may not be doing a lot of that, but the impact was there. And then even when Son of a Pimp came out, now Son of a Pimp didn't sell hundreds of thousands of records, it didn't do many numbers like that, but it changed the way that the next generation was viewed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we kicked off the door for that next generation of artists.
Yeah.
Where it was like, damn, okay, Cass is rapping.
Yeah.
It's different type of stuff coming now.
Right. It's
like
the 2000s now.
It's the 2000s now. Like, this is a whole different vibe. You know, you had other people that was like, man, I'm the Mob Bay. I'm from the Bay where we mobbing, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know what this extra energy type, what is this? But it was like, you know, we kicked off that next wave, and so that next wave was, you know, Street Novelist did that with Turf, what he did.
Yeah. Zion I.
What I was able to do. And then with me, I was always able to interweave with the hyphy, the hip hop, the backpack. Like, I always still kept it true. Like, if you listen to Son of a Pimp's not a hyphy album. It had 2 songs that may be considered hyphy, but that was an album that was well put together. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was Kanye West produced beats on there, produced the beat on there.
I was gonna say, how did that happen?
Being on the Wake Up Show, swaying Tech, and Tech was like, yo, Ye gave me some joints, man. And, man, he, you know what I'm saying, the appearance that you did down there, man, he loved that, man, when you was freestyling down there, man.
So D-Ray told me to ask you about this Wake Up Show appearance because I heard that you wanted to freestyle, but you were told it wasn't supposed to be a freestyle. It was supposed to be a...
Oh, that's when I realized what industry freestyling was.
Industry freestyle.
Yeah, that was the time where I was like, damn, like, you ain't supposed to, like, just come off the head of what you got going right there.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, you got to have something pre-wrote. I was like, what? I'm like, so how is that freestyling? So that was an eye-opener, and that was a shocker back then. But it was, you know, you learned your part of your game where you seen people coming in, and they had already had raps that they had already prepared.
Yeah, now you can just be on there with the phone.
Yeah, you could rap off your phone now. You could do all kind of stuff. And, you know, I grew up idolizing folks like, you know, Supernatural and
Hell yeah.
and Juice from Chicago
Yeah.
and you know, rest in peace to Chino XL.
Yeah.
And them dudes and, you know what I'm saying, Freestyle Fellowship, Mike and I and, you know, Idea and stuff like that, where you was watching them dudes and they was just going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was like, so that's what I was ready to do. I was ready to kick it off. I think I was up there with Common too, and me and Common was kicking. I was like, damn, I'm rapping with Common. Like, this is dope.
He's another amazing off the top of the head freestyle.
Super dope, super dope. So when I was told that, I was like, wow, that you know, that definitely put a different lens on for me. But I wasn't mad at it. I was just more so like, you know, come prepared. I think at that time I was so confident about my freestyle that I was like, man, I ain't never finna come with something prepared. Like, I'm finna just go off the head.
So that is what led to Kanye reaching out to you.
Yeah, no. So Tech linked it up, put it together. He was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like, you know, it's good. Like, well, honey, get on this one. Come see what you come up with. And I remember years later, Ye had put it on like one of his mixtapes that he had dropped. So it was super dope, man. To have a beat by Kanye. This was before Kanye became the Kanye he is today.
Right.
That the whole world knows.
This was like right around Through the Wire.
Like right before that.
Right before.
Like this the Louis Vuitton Don Kanye. This the Ye that, you know what I'm saying, the producer with the polo sweater and the Louis backpack.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying, where he was like, okay, when I met him at the wake up show, I was like, dude, fly. Like, who is this dude? Dude, fly.
Yeah.
And I, you know what I'm saying, Ye always showed love. Like, he ended up having a little, you feel me, out here from the Bay. So he would always come out here and, you know, they would kick it. And I used to mess with the you feel me partner. So it was like an association. His little you feel me and then my little you feel me.
That's kind of tight though, because it's like y'all, you talk about like the backpack rapper, like, and how the game is changing, because y'all taking that and making it look fly in your own way.
Right.
Like Kanye, like you said, Kanye coming Louis down with the Argyle sweater and shit, and then but you're coming in with a backpack and you know, chain on. And
yeah, for sure. You know, back then I had a herringbone chain though. I had a little herringbone chain with a little nugget.
Okay.
Like, you feel me? I'm in a building. Hey, go get the keys, get the backpack out the trunk. And so, yeah, man, it was lit, man. Like, Ye embodied that. Ye made the backpack rappers cool. Mm-hmm. To me, for my generation, he made the backpack rappers be like, oh, okay.
Oh, it was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like I could be a backpack rapper and still be dope.
Yeah, you could have bars, you could be
like,
intelligent.
I could still be cool. I could still be like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm on.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm stayed true to the backpack. To me, I was true to the backpack rapper. Even after the hyphy movement still kicked off, if you ever went to my shows, I still killed shows. Still hip-hop. Still, you know, me and my DJ Tito Bell, we still had the best live shows. Like, you know what I mean? We was really doing what we was doing, man. Killing it.
Yeah, I think some people hear Bay Area music and they get it misconstrued, but we love hip hop out here.
For sure.
We love it and we respect it, and this is a mecca of hip hop, with whether it's breakdancing, DJing, graffiti, all that, the Four Elements, all that stuff. I mean, even had Jay Stylin on here talking about his biggest influence was Beat Street. So we all that's a big part of Bay Area.
And then being right here in the heart of Soulja Mischief.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We got a chance to see them like up close.
Yeah.
You got a chance to really study them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, them dudes was, Andre 3000 said he was influenced by them.
Yep, and Eminem.
So when you listen to their style back then in 93, 92, 93, you listen to their style and then you hear some of your favorites, you be like, oh,
that's where they got it from.
Call up Bridget. That man's a midget. Please don't do it. Reconsider. Read some literature. Like, you like, oh, that's the same flow.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you really know hip hop science though.
Yeah.
Like, if you really breaking down hip hop science, you're like, whoa. So, you know what I'm saying? Soulja Mischief, man, high roll. Like, you know what I'm saying? You listen to, you know what I'm saying, folks like Casual and Dale and, you know, Fess and Taj.
Saphir too.
Saphir, like Hobo Junction.
Yep.
Like, that's really like hip hop for us. Like, you know what I mean? And to me, I was always fans of them dudes. Like, man, like, to be able to be embraced by Hyro. Like, I remember going on tour with them. They took me on tour. We toured Canada, and I was like, man, bro, I'm really on tour with Soulja Mischief. Like, this is crazy to me, bro. Like, to watch them dudes embrace it, watch Plus and all of them dudes really embraced me. Like, okay, like you ain't just a hyphy, you know. And they gave me hell too, cause a lot of folks was just like, oh, you the hyphy rapper. This it's a gimmicky. This, then they like, nah, like, dude can really rap.
So that was another thing from the outside looking in that I'll share with you, just as me being a young fan in this time, is that we were tripping off F.A.B, but we was like, oh, he got bars.
Yeah, dude can rap.
So I want to get into this too, like the Freestyle King. I feel like that DVD was another big thing that kind of helped
Sure.
Push you forward into the limelight.
For sure, man. It was like, it was working and grinding. It was like we was doing DVDs to show folks the light. So the Freestyle King showed the light, the personality, and everything. This my brother, y'all. You feel me? That's light-skinned me. You feel me?
That backpack's 20-some years old.
Yeah, this backpack down there.
Okay, we talk about backpack rappers.
We talking about, you know, it's all kind of
It's
stuff.
not a game. It's real talk.
Look, this a letter from my brother. This crazy. This a letter from him. All kind of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Sending letters. So these is just, we talk about, man, I got notebooks in here older than some of y'all. Like, you feel me? For real. Like, it's notebooks. Like, this just, you know, I just had books, bro. Just rapping. So it wasn't never about, to me, it wasn't about the money or nothing. It was like, bro, I'm pushing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Pushing that pen.
I'm pushing that pen, bro. It was always about just writing, write your way out. Some of these, look, this Nig Latin right here, this off the, damn, this crazy. This Nig Latin on paper. Damn. We talk this way, we understand this here. If you were from the ghetto, you understand this here. Bro, this crazy. This from, like, so, this really, this damn near 2000.
Yeah.
2099. I think I still was in high school when I wrote this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, this just notebooks, man. Like, and my message to the youth and to the next generation is, hey, man, don't just do it for views or for, do it because this is what you love to do.
Because you love it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for the money, if it wasn't for none of that, I would still be doing it. I love it. I love writing. Like, this just one book. Like, this just one backpack.
I was going to say, did you have all these in that backpack, or did you just grab
Oh, no, this was just all in this backpack.
Wow.
This just, you feel me? You know, and Ray got a cleaning service in her other time when she not doing photos. So, you know, Ray does a, you know, her cleaning service. So she knows, she probably know where the other bag is. She didn't clean it up, you know what I'm saying, at the crib. She didn't probably put the other bag somewhere else. But, hey, man, don't stop, bro. Like I tell y'all, it ain't about, oh, I did this, I did that. Nah, man, keep going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's crazy, bro. Just looking at this stuff, like looking at, I'm telling y'all, it don't stop, man. You gotta keep going, yo. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep grinding it out. It might not get easy, but you gonna keep pushing it. And once you keep pushing it, you're gonna be like, oh, damn, I did that. So that'd be my message to y'all, bro. Just keep going.
God damn.
Like, it's this, and like I say, this is just one bag. It's hella these. It's about 3-4 bags of just all nothing but notebooks filled up. But yeah, though, man, I don't know what got me into this.
Nah, I'm really glad you brought that. And actually, you was about to leave it in the car, so I'm glad you grabbed it.
Let them know, like, man, hold on, man. So saying all that to say, it's always been true to the backpack.
For sure,
So
bro.
the hyphy movement kicked off stuff,
and
we got popular for that.
Just seeing this, though, like, you bringing me back to what made me love rap in the first place, bro. And it all starts right there. A kid with dreams and an imagination and putting that pen on paper, bro.
For sure.
And
man.
you have to hold on to that. You got to cherish that, and you got to keep developing that. And
yeah, that's gonna be worth something. They gonna put that in a museum somewhere one day. Like, you feel me? You might catch a fan that be like, oh, bro, you got Son of a Pimp on notebook. Like, yeah, y'all want to buy this? Y'all want to buy Son of a Pimp on paper?
We might got to talk about putting that on display at the next History of the Bay.
You feel
Day,
me?
man.
Like, you wanna see the lyrics to Son of a Pimp right here on paper?
Yeah.
It is yours right now for the very full price of. You feel me?
But I'm the same way. I keep everything. I keep every flyer. I keep every black book. I keep every notebook. I don't throw anything away from this journey.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a journey, man. It's been a journey.
Amazing, bro. Real hip hop history. So to get back to the freestyling too, where does that? Because that's something you are known still to this day as the Freestyle King.
The freestyling started with you know, it's so crazy how the freestyling really started though, because my handwriting was horrible, and I didn't like the way my handwriting was, so I'd be like, I'm gonna just freestyle it. Niggas like, nah, just write it. Like, nah. But that was like one of my insecurities. My insecurity was I had horrible handwriting. So anytime somebody would see it, they'd be like, bro, what is this? I'd be like, bro, stop talking about my writing, bro. Like, you feel me? And I was very kind of like overprotective of it. And I think I was in comparison though, because my dad and my brother, they had the penmanship of, you know, when we was young, they always would say girls write better. Like, it's like, man, they write like
you can always
girl.
tell when a girl
like,
wrote
y'all
something.
write like a girl. Like, y'all feel me? Y'all got, my daddy and my brother could, like, man, you like, damn, like they had penmanship. So this nigga used to always want to write letters back and forth. I'm like, bro, call me, bro. I answer and collect, bro. Make mama mad or something, bro. But I ain't finna keep writing back and forth, bro, because you ain't finna, this chicken scratch that I'm writing compared to the letters that you writing, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work out. So I just started freestyling, man, and just picking up a knack for it. But like I say, if you remember in the aforementioned, I'd always talked about how my mama would always buy me books. She would always buy me dictionaries, and she would buy me thesauruses. And whenever I got in trouble, I would have to read those books or things like that. That was just like forms of my punishment to read. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't knowing that was loading up my ammunition. As a you know, a word slinger, you only gonna be as powerful as your ammunition. Your ammunition is words, so I became a logophile at a young age, and a logophile is a lover of words. I became a lover of words and just learning how to put things together and just freestyling, and I just was running with it, man, and you know, just kept pushing, and like even still to this day, just going. And when I get in there, just having fun and catching those vibes, and hey, man, it's magical.
Yeah, I don't think freestyling. I used to like see ciphers on the back of the bus. I used to couldn't go anywhere without seeing somebody just start rapping outside the store or something. Yeah, I don't know if that's as prevalent these days as it used to be, but I think at the time that you were coming out, it was pretty hot, like Freestyle Fridays on
sure.
BT and
106
and Park, and then just to so when you had that DVD. I remember being excited to check that out, and I did not know until he came on the podcast that DJ Fresh edited that whole
for sure
DVD too.
People don't know that DJ Fresh, that's my voice.
That's your voice?
Yeah.
What?
Like me and Fresh, man, kicked it off. Like, you know, Fresh was going to Expressions at the time, and he would come to my mama house, and at my mama house he would come over there and is that Yee? Ye's so talented. Yee, see, that's the beauty of being over here at Empire, man. You never know who you're gonna get a chance to see. I feel like Yee might be one of the hottest in Northern California. I don't know if that was him or not, but if it wasn't, I still feel the same way.
Shout out to Lil
Yee.
Yeah.
Shout out my boy Yee. But what I was talking about?
Man, what was you talking about?
DJ Fresh.
Oh yeah.
Fresh, man, young Marcus, man. So yeah, man, he was going to Expressions at the time, and he came up to me at a show. I think he was introduced to me by my homeboy Jen, and Jen was a part of my high school. That was a part of the crew. You know what I'm saying? Me and Jen was super fly, man. We was always, you know, we was fly together. And G Smooth introduced me to Fresh. He was like, man, my homeboy want to do some stuff with you, man. When he make beats. I'm like, all right, it's all good. And, you know, Fresh had pulled up to my mama house, and he was like, man, come on, bro. I go to Expressions. They give us free studio time. It's a part of my project that I'm doing. You want to work on some stuff? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I ain't tripping. So we would go over there, and I'd just be freestyling, knocking out stuff at the time. The first Tonight Show, like, I did Fresh's first Tonight Show. And that kicked off his series of the Tonight Show.
Yeah, like 20 years later, he's still knocking them out.
25 years, 26 years later, because that came out before Nig Latin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The first Tonight Show did?
Yeah, I think
I didn't even know that.
I think that did. Probably something like that. Did it? No. We damn near did it at the same time though. Probably, you know what I'm saying? I think it probably came out like 2004.
Okay.
2000 something like that. Like, but we was working though, man. We was working every night, and we was filming it. And then I had already had hella footage, and I was just like, Fresh, bro, can you? Ray had hella footage. Like I say, Ray quit her job. Ray was working at she was working at Express. And Ray was like, well, she was working at Express, and then she was baking on the side. That was her hobby. She loved making cakes and stuff. And she was like, man, nigga, I'm going to just be the cameraman. I'm going to be the cameraman. I'm film everything. And, man, she took it to levels that nobody ever expected it to be.
Of course.
Like, she got to a level where she be like, oh, yeah, Drake left me some tickets. Be like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finna go to Wayne. I'm gonna be with Wayne on the bus. I'm like, Ray, how you know Wayne? Like, bro, don't forget about Lil Brad and them.
Yeah, no.
Like, so
Definitely.
so she took it to another level, man. But we had hella footage, and Fresh just was editing the footage, and that's how we put out the Freestyle King.
So I want to ask you about some of the freestyles that are in that DVD that I remember. I haven't seen it in a long time, but just off memory, there's footage of you battling Jin.
Yeah.
How did that? Because I was talking about Freestyle Friday.
Yeah, 106 in Park.
That's when he was on that run, and then that's what eventually I believe got him signed to Rough Riders.
Yeah.
So he was kind of known as like one of the best freestylers in the world at the time. How did y'all end up battling?
Big shout out to Jen, man. Jen later went on to do movies and all kind of stuff, man. It was dope, man, because we have got booked for the Hot Import Nights in San Mateo, and it was like a contest, and I think whoever won the contest battled Jen at the end. And we had worked our way up to the contest, and we got there, and we got a chance to, to battle, and it was definitely culturally biased. That thing,
At the import?
Yeah, it was definitely culturally biased.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
You feel me? It was about 1,000 of my cousins up there, man, my Filipino cousins, man, you know what I'm saying?
You can't play around at the import event.
Import nights, they was drifting. This was down drifting, baby. This pre-Fast and Furious, baby. So, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that was what was big about Jin, though, that he was representing.
Right. But it was dope, man. It was dope. We got a chance to capture that, put that on there. I think, but the highlight of that was just, when you look back in hindsight, man, you look at it and say, damn, it's been a hell of a grind.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a hell of a grind. It's been a grind. It's one for the ages, man. And with even all of that much history behind us, to still feel confident about what's in front of us, I still feel like the best things that I've done that I've yet to do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I still feel like my greatest accomplishments to this realm have yet to happen yet. And I've done some amazing things.
Yeah, I always say that my best year is always going to be next year.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. But to ask about a couple more of them battles, I think one thing that was big is that was going on at that time is the KMEL battles.
Sure.
So that was you and people like Locksmith, Clyde Carson,
right.
Killer Keys.
Sure.
Yeah, how were those going down?
A-Wolf, can't forget A-Wolf.
A-Wolf.
A-Wolf was like, that was like me and Bird. Like, that was Magic and Bird at the time, man. Wolf was a boy. Like, I really love Wolf, man. Big shout out to A-Wolf wherever he is in life right now. Hope all things are well with him. Me and the team, Clyde Carson and Kaz, those were crazy memorable nights. Killer Keys, rest in peace to Killer Keys. Me and Keys was Keith said one of the hardest lines. I don't battle rap. He said, you battle with raps, I battle with scraps. Like, I was like, well, this nigga hard, cuz. We might end up having to fight this nigga, cuz. Like, Keith was hard. This is at the time Selsky was, Keith was like really introducing, Sel was introducing Keith to the rest of the world. He was going everywhere with him, so we would see Sel out. Sel to me was always like a super icon because I would always watch him and he was always in hustle mode. Like, he was always with a mixtape or he had a DVD or
pair of Jordans.
You know what I'm saying? So for sure, his shoe collection is crazy. Bar none. Bar none. I'll say this on record. Selsky might have the greatest shoe collection ever, like, of anything. Like, I guarantee that he has more LeBron James shoes than anyone else in this world. Probably even more than LeBron. This is crazy. This is on record. Big Mafia. But Sel was just always like that. He was always just hustling, man. Always, representing his soil. And so, how it was introduced is that, Keith was his little brother, man, and he was introduced and we was battling and we just, we had our little 1-2, and it was good, man. It was great for history, for Bay Area history. He was able to get up and represent his area, represent his soil. In his time, he shined, man, and to put his folks on, had a lot of love, and we battled. We did what we did. I think I went undefeated on the KMEL battles until one night I had to battle Locksmith, and Lock killed me, man. Lock killed me with what we were talking about. I never knew at the time. Like I say, it was at this moment where I was like, oh, he had that rote. But regardless if it was rote or if it was freestyle, you still had to perform. And his poise to perform, still to this day, as one of the greatest lyricists that I've ever heard rap, Locksmith is that. Like, as far as, I love the road that he on now, too, as far as being, I won't necessarily say woke, what everybody tries to say, but conscious, but he's bringing a lot of things that's hidden in America to the forefront. And, as we stand on the precipice of political tirades and what is to come in America today, his music is definitely a reflection of political commentary that is much needed. He's very informative of what he's doing. So if y'all not following what Locksmith is doing right now, make sure y'all get a chance to check in with his latest music, some of his drops, his tours, because he's very he's created a lane for himself, and I'm proud of that dude because we come up in the trenches together.
Well, that was the other thing that was really exciting about all those battles, is that you had everybody we just named was just coming out, and it's like you said, there was this fresh air of, all right, the 90s is over.
Right.
But there's a whole new wave coming, and it wasn't just Hyphy, but it was all these different people, street rappers like Killer Keys, or like all different types of people that were coming out. That we look back now, it's like they're still, like you said, about Locksmith, still relevant, still pushing.
We had called it the New Bay. That's what we had coined it. We had coined
yeah.
it the New Bay. It was Balance, Frontline, Turf Talk, The team, for sure, the team. A lot of people don't know, Clyde, for a short stint, was over at Straight Hits with me, with me and Jazzy. Like, he and I was even in a group working on several records. I had always been a fan of Clyde. Me and him had like an album that we did together when we was like 18, 19. Then he created, he was in his crew was called Outfit back then. Then it went to the team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I would always see him out at Bayfair, at Hilltop, selling CDs. That's when he had the project Negro League.
Right.
And the Negro League, like, you know what I'm saying, we'd be in the streets and we'd be grinding. And another key component of somebody that played back with the New Bay was Jay Dandridge. Jay Dandridge was a dude he showed me a lot of grind too as well, you know what I'm saying? And his name may not get mentioned a lot, but he was there. You can't take away from the fact, we would do shows at Blake's in Berkeley. Underground.
Blake's on Telegraph.
Yeah, Zion I, they was already rocking. Me and my daughter's mom, we would be going up there to go see them shows because she was at Cal. She was going to Cal at the time. And this is when like Planet Asia and Zion I, like, you know what I'm saying, we got a chance to watch them do shows. And to me, I felt like PA was like, I was like, damn. I never knew PA was from Fresno till I got older. I thought he was from the Bay.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying, I was just like, this nigga too good. Like, he was always just super, but I was always a fan of that. I was always a fan of Zion I, and, rest in peace to Zumbi, man, and big shout out to Amp, man, for what they were able to do. And Rob embraced me at the time. Rob was doing some management for them, and they embraced me and got me a real good, close relationship with those two. But Planet Asia, I was just like, damn, them dudes, they was hella dope.
Yeah, bars,
like, for real. But the new Bay is what we was calling it. And it caused some discrepancies with some of the elders because, change always creates mixed emotions and different feelings. But at the time, we was just pushing, man. Biaggi, Beta, Under Surveillance. These were the crews that we was rocking with, man, And it was just dope, man, to see how we was all. It was just, like you say, it was just a breath of fresh air, man, at the time where we was trying to figure out what was our identity to be.
The other piece of it is that, and this is, again, like when I'm hearing your story, there's a lot of things that just line up as far as good timing. But the Hyphy movement, and we were talking earlier about E40, super sick with it, to tell me when to go, to my ghetto report card. I feel like a lot of the energy of like Hyphy came out of Mac Dre's passing, how much the Bay was united around this, and how many of those things just kind of crept into the Bay Area culture, and it exploded and got us a national spotlight. And I feel like, from my point of view, that was because that was the only time, honestly, I could ever remember the Bay Area all being united.
Yeah, all on the same page.
On the same page. This is what we're doing in Frisco.
Right.
This is what we're doing in Vallejo. This is what we're doing in Berkeley. This is how we dressing. This is how we talking. This is what we listening to. This is what we pushing. And you and the Yellow Bus movement were like right there at the forefront.
Yeah, man, we was like the Warriors. And what I mean by that is you had A's fans, you had Giants fans. You had Niners fans, you had Raiders fans. But if you was a Warriors fan, it was like
Golden State.
It was Golden State.
Yeah.
It was like, nigga, this the one thing that everybody in the Bay agree on.
Yeah.
At that time,
Yeah.
we all agreed on that. It didn't care where you was from, what you was doing. This what you doing? We
Right.
good. You had Federation. You had them kicking what they was doing. You had, Rick Rock creating the sound that he was creating, and him and 40 was able to do some stuff. They was able to kick off a different sound. You had Oakland. You had Richmond, Berkeley, Vallejo, San Jose. You can't forget EPA. You know what I'm saying? Because, EPA was always a city that was overlooked because they was such a small city, but they had great contributions, man.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? They had great contributions. We talk about Never Legal. We talking about, Mac and AK. We talking about, you know what I'm saying, of course, my brothers are hood stars, but, my favorite producer, Sean T. You know what I'm saying? And, his whole MOG movement. You had Hog. You had everything. They had a lot of stuff going on from EPA, man. You know what I'm saying? That was the quiet city.
Yeah, they did play a big role.
They played a big role, man. You feel me? Big role, man. Because, even prior to the hyphy, the mess run, when we was hearing mess, and you a hater if you didn't say mess was the biggest thing in the Bay Area.
Right.
Like I'm talking about, nobody was bigger than Mess in the Bay Area. They
Right.
might have been bigger outside, but at one time, Mess was the biggest thing in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And his sound, Sean T did damn near all of them beats.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And they was so dope that you thought that they was from Battle Cat, or you might have thought they was from out, but Sean T was how versatile he was. He was doing all of them beats. I remember because I was at the house. Messa come get me. I'm being a kid. Mess, you feel me, coming to get me. We going to Sean house out the way. Sean in there cooking up the beats. I'm like, nigga, I thought this was Battle Cat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mess in there just doing his one too.
So are you and Mess related?
Nah.
Okay.
We-
you know
we-
why I'm asking that, right?
Nah, we just game related, man. Like
Because you had a song called Big Cousin.
Big Cousin. Like, you
Okay.
feel me? Like, damn, you heard that record?
Yeah.
My big cousin. My big,
Yeah.
like, bro, Mess was the nig to us, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mess was coming to get me, bro, from the house when I was in school. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just taking me with him. Like, we going out, like, he's taking me around, showing me the game. I'm in field mode. You feel me? I'm on a Mac block. We at McDonald's. It's Wild Bill. It's Loot. Just the whole little, you feel me? We all outside. I'm youngin', like, you feel me? Hoodie on, woo woo. We just, we thugging. Just a young dude watching Mess do his dance, like, you feel me? Like, damn.
That's
like,
another reason I thought y'all might be cousins, because when I interviewed him, he talked about that.
Yeah,
and
man,
I
like-
think on that DVD he was talking about that
Mess
too.
was my dude. Mess was like one of the first dudes, like, that was established to embrace, you feel me? Like, what I was doing. Like, Mess always had an ear for talent. Like, if you go listen to his albums, like, Mess was putting folks on that the rest of the world didn't hear
yeah.
from till, like,
Yeah.
he was like,
Keisha Cole.
come on. I was in the studio when he did that with Keish.
Wow.
We was in West Oakland. Like,
Wow.
you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, going to go pick up that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Mess always had a talent for to hear who was talented. And he had heard me rapping. He was like, nigga, you with me. You mescaline. Like, you feel me? I'm like, man, whatever it was. Like, I just was happy to be with somebody who, you know what I'm saying? We riding around. We in the East. It's me, him, Name, Swat. He picking me up every day. Him and Name. We just riding around. And Mess taught me a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? He showed me a lot in the game, and that's why it like broke my heart when I started hearing my name and some of the, and some of the just the records that he was saying whatever he was saying, you feel me? Because I had to realize that it was just the art of war. And I had to give myself credit for where I had rose in the ranks. Sometimes your idols become your rivals.
Facts.
And whether it's a friendly competition or whatever it may be, you that now. Like, I felt like 50 might have dissed Jay, and it wasn't that I hate you, Jay. It's just, nigga, I'm going for the top spot. And you at the top spot now, so you know, you might become a casualty of war if you perish. But I just had to, you know, take it on the chin with a grin. That's why my only response was the big cousin.
Yeah.
Like, I just was like, but you know, and even still to this day, I love Mess.
Yeah.
I ain't talked to Mess in years. But I understand life be like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, man, to see somebody of such iconic status have to deal with the things that he's dealing with on his own. But I'm not here to make excuses. But mental health is a serious situation. That's why we do the thug therapy. That's why we do the mental wellness and making sure that as men, we do check-ins and we check on each other, because who are you to say if somebody is your friend and your brother and you allow them to just go deep dive into, you know, depression or drug use or whatever it may be, and then you make fun of them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So these feet ain't working for kicking while you down.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I pray for dude diligently. And like I say, like like Bernie Mac told Shep on a Butter Rim, can't take who he was, Shep. Can't take who he was. A gold medal in 2002 is still a gold medal in 225.
Yep.
And Mess will always be a gold medalist in my eye.
I agree. That was a big part of me snatching him up and doing that interview, and it was to let him know that he still has support. And I'm glad that at least we got to get that on record, where he kind of cleaned up a lot of the situations and spoke highly about people like yourself and many others. So at least that's out there.
Yeah, man. Like I say, I always love dude, man, because at a time, like I say, dude was coming to get me from my mama house, bro.
Yeah.
Just showing me the game. And then even on that one song when he said, man, I ain't got nothing against the new Bay. I used to slide through with F.A.B, nigga, back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel me? I was a young dude bouncing out. I'm going to school. Niggas like, bro, was that Mess? Bro, that's Mess, bro. Nigga, Mess picking you up at school. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? That was always lit, man. You know, and fast forward, and even though, you know, fast forwarding from that, even though and I'm not here for discrepancies, and like, you know me, I don't do the beef and the headlines. That ain't my thing. But I was always upset that I wasn't on that Ghetto Report Card album.
Oh, okay.
Like, you feel me? I was always like, damn, blood. And I even told 40 one day, I'm like, damn, huh? Like, blood, you put everybody on that album but me. Like, you feel me? Like, this was our time to shine. Like, why I couldn't get on that album? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the album that, this is what we doing in the Bay.
Yeah.
Like, this was, like, if everybody, this what we represent. We got everybody on here that's a representative of what we doing now. And I wasn't on it.
I could see why that would bother you.
I was like, damn, blood.
Well, because at that time, you're on so many other anthems, right? Like Sideshow with Tracks a Million. And
But listen, you got to think, that was, you know, even that song, that was, you know what I'm saying? That was a record, man, Trax was my brother, bro. Like, me and Trax was like a whole different level of friends. Like, that was my dog, man. Like, you feel me? That record even happened like late night after the studio. He like, bro, you was short right now? Like, bro, we just had a show in San Jose. He like, bro, come through the studio. Nick like, bro, y'all really gonna come? He's like, I'm gonna get the broads over here. I'm like, that's the only way he coming. If it ain't no women over there, short ain't coming. He like, man, we had about 10 girls. I'm like, Pops, man, it's about 10 of them over there. He like, for real? All right, come on, let's go over there. So that's how Sideshow kicked off. We did that about 3, 4 in the morning. And I told Trax, I'm like, Trax, just slap up something, man, cook up something. I'm like, he like, what? I'm like, bro, just knock something, bro. And so he was playing the Cassie song. Me and you.
Yeah.
If you listen to Sideshow, that's that beat.
Wow. He sampled that.
Like it wasn't a sample. He just did.
Oh,
He did
okay.
his tracks a million to
Okay.
it. But it's the same song. Like
Yeah,
down there,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, ooh, you a boy for that. So yeah. At the time though, you know, I had hella other records on the radio, right, and hella little songs, but it always kind of got to me like, damn, fo, like you didn't put me on that record, blood. Like you feel me? Like I kind of felt like, you know, I felt a certain type of way, man. It took me years to get over that. Cause I was just like, bro, this was the record to kind of like showcase us to the world. Like you could have threw me on one of them joints. You could have, you feel me? I could have had a verse on Muscle Cars or something. I could have, you know. But you know, he explained it at the time, you know, the best way that he could, from how he could, and you know, it was what it was. Whether I agreed with it or not, whether I accepted it what it was, you know, I had to accept it. It had already happened. But I feel like that was one of the biggest at the time, that was a staggering blow to me to accept, man, that I wasn't on that record, man. But
yeah, I never thought about that. That's interesting. But I mean,
because if you go back and listen, you would be like, even without, you know, without saying nothing, you would automatically assume that I was on that album. When you got to think about it, like, damn, I wasn't on that album. No.
I hear you.
So you know what I'm saying? It was a no brainer. But you know, things happen.
Well, I mean, you got so many other spotlights during that time. And I feel like your career definitely benefited from the national exposure that the Bay Area was getting. Where do you feel like the hyphy movement went wrong?
I feel like it went, and this might just be my ego talking, but when they stopped playing me on the radio. Okay. You feel me? Well, when I got banned from the radio, it was nobody there to explain what was going on. Like, folk, a lot of people didn't, you know, some of the artists didn't have the ability to articulate what was going on. So when you get on these national podcasts or these national radio shows back then, and you don't have an ability to describe what's going on demographically, people will lose interest. With me, I was always able to articulate what was going on. I was able to talk about how the Pack brought an innovative sound, how they were able to create what the young kids were doing at the time, because they was the youngsters at the time. And the production skills from Young L was like, he was like our Pharrell. Like Young L was our Pharrell. People don't give him credit for what he was able to do sonically. Sure. Mm-hmm. Sonically, he was creating stuff at the time. This dude had the number 1, number 2 record in the country. Got My Vans On was like number 2 record in the country. These was kids, 16, 17 years old, doing records at their mama's house. In the room, this was a young dude who was like, his sound was so ahead of the game. And that birthed, you know, the Bass God years later. But this was a dude who, if it wasn't for Bass God, a lot of these social media, like, you know what I'm saying, overnighters wouldn't have came to fruition. That was the like, this is from the Bay. Mm-hmm. If we talk about degrees of separation, you look at some of these folks, they got a lot of their style from Bass God. And the whole bass movement that the Pack was able to create. I was able to explain that. I was able to explain what, you know, what the team was doing sonically, how Federation had what they had going on, and how it was like, you know, they was from a area that still represented our soil, but they had a producer that was like Robotnik. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rock was able to do anything. Rock was a dude that could come dive in and do the Bay and then go to New York and do Welcome Back for Mace, or go do Busta Rhymes and, you know what I'm saying, and Mariah Carey. Like, Rick Rock was at a time where Jay had just came off saying that he wasn't going to do no West Coast album, no West Coast music. He said on his song, man, it's too much West Coast dick riding on that record, on Jay-Z's record. Then he come back and do a whole album, West Coast, sonically, that Rick Rock did 6 beats on. Like, I don't think people gave, you know, Rock the credit of his diversity. So I was able to explain these things, though, which was able to make it interesting. But when you take that voice away, if you mute the voice, then nobody able to talk about it.
To this day, radio is less relevant now, but it's been a big problem that if you go to Atlanta, you hop in a rental car, turn on the radio, you're gonna hear Atlanta artists.
For sure.
You go to Philly, hop in the car, turn on the radio, you're gonna hear Philadelphia or at least East Coast artists. You come to the Bay, turn on the radio, you're probably not gonna hear any Bay Area artists. But I think I see what you're saying, because at the time, when you're exploding, and you're getting a national look. You're getting signed to Atlantic. The fact that the biggest urban station basically banned you from the airwaves, that's a huge blow, right?
Yeah, for 14 years.
14 years.
I lost millions.
Damn.
Like we talk about, I lost millions. If we do like projected sales, like if there's ever like one of those lawsuits that come up, if you were ever affected by,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, right? I guarantee I get millions.
Yeah. Publishing.
Everything.
Yeah.
Bro, you got to think, bro. At one time, bro, I had like 8 records on the radio at once.
Right.
Like, people might be like, are you exaggerating? You ain't had no 8 records. Okay, well, let's count them. We had Sideshow. We had Got the North, Got the East, New Oakland. We had Kicked Out the Club. We had Ghost Rided. We had the Grown Man remix. You know, they was playing the Grown Man remix damn near more than they was playing the original song. We had the Grown Man remix. Then we had Thiz and Sick Wid It. We had that. We had, you know what I'm saying? We had that. It was this other record, this one of them records. Then I had Metros and Chirpers. Like I had Shaboobala Boopy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was records that was on the radio at one time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hella records going. And so you factor in that. You factor in shows that came off that.
Yeah.
You factor in tours. You factor in, you know what I'm saying? Do I miss millions of dollars, man? But you know, in the Bible, man, Joseph was incarcerated, and he was falsely accused of something, and they incarcerated him for 13, 14 years. And when he returned, he was in the favor of the king, and everything that he had lost in those 14 years, man, that came back tenfold. So when people look at the things that we've been able to establish years later and wonder how Mr. F.A.B is still relevant, you know, I'm in the favor of the king. You know, it's God's child, man. So it's no accident why certain blessings and certain things is going our way right now, man. And I'm thankful for it. I'm humble because, like I say, I know that my best year is next year.
There you go.
You feel me?
There you go. Well, I'm glad you have that outlook on it, but just out of curiosity, did that all that stem from you doing a show on 94.9?
It was a multitude of things, man.
Okay.
You know.
But you had Yellow Bus Radio.
We had Yellow Bus Radio,
which was, if you don't know, 94.9 is like the rival station at the time.
So at the time, if KMEL was BET 106 in Park, MTV was TRL.
Yeah.
I mean, 94.9 was TRL,
mm-hmm.
and we had a big, you know, we had a big radar, big. We covered a lot of grounds, and it was never my intentions to try to come in and step on any of those radio disc jockeys' toes. I just looked at it as another opportunity for the Bay Area to be heard for the records that wasn't being played on, you know what I'm saying, on KMEL. Here it is. I had an opportunity. I had an opportunity to play Jacka, to play Huss, to play, you know, AWAX, to play other different artists, to play Squeeze from Hayward, and, you know what I'm saying, these other artists that may not have got a chance, an opportunity to be heard on KMEL. We was playing up-and-coming artists. I had certain nights where we would allow artists to come up and do things, and I looked at it as I saw 40 had a show on KMEL, and I was like, 40 got a show? Oh, that's dope. I want a show. And the opportunity presented itself. But, you know, you look at it and you say, well, man, F.A.B, after you leave radio, you can go back to doing rap. All we got is radio. So if you come in, you take our ratings over, you take stuff like that, so we out of a job. So you're not just doing a radio show now, you becoming our competition. So we can't play your music because we'll be promoting our competition, or whatever excuse it may have been for, you know, for the band to be solidified. I think it was something, you know, prior to that. But it is what it is. Like I say, man, it's in God's hands, and it always has been and always will be. So whatever I missed out on, and whatever transpired, that's the way that it was supposed to go. It's no coincidences in life. You know, I think that at this age, I'm forgiving. And, you know, I forgive anyone that has ever wronged me or harmed me, and for anything that I've ever done to someone, I hope that they are just as forgiving for it was never my intentions to create malice or the cruelties of upsetting someone's in a position. I just wanted to help the Bay Area. I always been pro Bay Area. If you go review the resume and you look at all the shows that I've ever done, I've always put other artists on. I've always brought other artists with me. If I get booked for Summer Jam and they give me 20 minutes, I'll probably perform for 4 minutes. But I'm going to let Hood Stars do their record. I'm going to let the Pack come out and do their record. I'm going to ask the team to come out and do their records. I'm always sharing the stage because, like I say, I'm the offspring of what Dre wanted. Everybody shine. We look better that way. And so, you know, whatever my penalty was for that, let it be added to the back end.
Man, people don't understand. You have to be very resilient in this business. You have to be able to take whatever hurdles, whatever setbacks, you got to take a licking and keep on ticking. And, you know, they say God only gives you what you can handle, right? So I think that is a testament to your resilience, that you're not out here all fucked up and, you know, you haven't fallen. That didn't cause you to fall off. But that is a sad situation that's how it had to go. And when I was posted that history video the other day, like, and you know, not to dwell on the setbacks, but I do think it is another part of your career that's interesting to reflect on, is what happened with the Ghost Rider video, because your follow-up album to Son of a Pimp was kind of set to take you even further, right? This is when you got signed to Atlantic, and the big single, which I remember we loved at the time, this is when the hyphy movement is still in full swing, was Ghost Ride It, which Sean T did by flipping the Ghostbusters sample, which is fucking brilliant, to do a song about Ghost Ride It and then use the Ghostbusters sample, and then you had the Ghostbusters car, and we all love Ghostbusters, man. Come on, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you love Ghostbusters. But what went wrong with that video? Because there was some backlash, right?
It wasn't even the video that went wrong with it. First of all, shout out to Too Short for telling me, man, I've been all around the country, man. The only thing that they're really interested in is what the fuck is Ghost Rider, man.
It's a pretty good Short impression.
Oh, you know, that's Pops, man. You know, that's really like my hip hop dad, man. Like, you feel me? Like, I got him down. Todd Shaw is down. That is, you know, that is my guy right there. And he was just like, man, I'm telling you, man. First nigga do a song just about Ghost Rider, man, gonna win, man. So I went to Sean. I'm like, Sean, sample the Ghostbusters. We gonna do Ghost Ride It.
Oh, so that was your idea?
Yeah. He was like, what? I'm like, bro, just do it, Cuddy. It's finna be. So I went to the house. We did it. Cat it off. He was like, this crazy, man. I'm like, bro, this finna be huge. Watch. And man, they love that record, man. Like, I hate that record to this day, right? Like, I hate it because they wanted me to just perform it so much. Like, you know, New Oakland and Ghost Rider is like, okay, two different loves. Like, I love New Oakland because it just represents my city and I represent, you know what I'm saying, my soil. But, you know, that's like, okay, I do have more songs than this, right? But I'm okay with I could perform that. That's cool. But if they be like, yeah, man, we want you to do Ghost Rider, I'd be like, nah, man, I don't want to do Ghost Rider.
Really?
But when I do it, the reception is like, it takes people back to that nostalgic feeling of, bro, do you remember what you was doing when this came out? And so it wasn't even so much about the Ray Parker tripping on the sample. I think that could have easily been worked out. The video got banned because Columbia Pictures had still owned the likeness to the car.
Oh, shit.
So we actually had the real car. We had the real car in there, man. And we did like a 5-day video shoot. It was like 5 days.
You rented that car?
Yeah, we rented the car.
From like a Hollywood
from the owner who owned the car. But the likeness of the car was still under Columbia Pictures.
Right.
And yeah, man, when they banned it, it only made it bigger.
Oh, okay.
When they banned the record, it just made it bigger because now people really wanted it. Now they, you know, we was viral on that before viral was viral.
Yeah, this is when YouTube was first coming out.
Yeah, first coming on. So we was viral. We had the Ghost Riding Granny. We had the Ghost Ride, the Volvo. It was all kind of stuff going on, man, at the time. Like, if you go back on YouTube and you look at some of the stuff, like that record was viral before viral. And yeah, man, Sean T did it. And then it was either some stuff even in the between. I say, yeah, the real king of slap. It was all kind of stuff going on. That record had a whole bunch of subs going on in it.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
Nah, it just had a whole bunch of subs in it. Big shout out to Sean T, man.
Okay.
And that video was crazy, man. But it was love.
I wanted to ask you about, and I love how we touched on so many different people in this Bay Area thing, but someone else I want to get your perspective on that I know you're very close with, and someone that's huge influence to me is the Jacka.
Sure.
What was your relationship like with the Jack, and what are some of your favorite memories with him?
That's my favorite rapper. And the beauty of him being my favorite rapper ended up developing to him being my big brother. We got a chance to go around the world, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We would teach classes in Sweden and Norway, and, you know, we did stuff like that. Like, they would fly us over to Europe to come talk to classes and talk about independent music. And, you know, dude was that dude to me, man. He was always like, you know what I'm saying? He was always honest. He was funny. He was very supportive. Like, all of my big moments, I could look over my shoulder and always see him there. Record release parties to videos to everything, man. Like, everything we was doing, my birthday parties, you know what I'm saying? He was there. He was supported everything that we did, man. And he would always just be like, F.A., bro, you know, I'm with you, bro. Like, he treated me like I was the bigger artist, like, but, you know what I'm saying, in my eyes, I'm like, nigga, you the J. Like, Cuddy, you know, you the one. Like, you could go talk to him. You feel me? Me, I play the shadows. I'll be behind the scenes. I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to come out and do what I do, but go talk to him, bro, you know. Let him know that we coming, Cuddy. Like, you feel me? Come on, Brody. You it, Brody, for real. Like, and that's how he always did it. Like, he always, you know, would pump that up into me to be able to say, man, you know, go be the one. Go be the voice for us. Go do that, man. I'm going to be here in the slums. I'm going to hold the slums down. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to rock around. But you go do what you do, man, and, you know, don't forget about us. And that was always it with him and me. Like, we'd be over in Norway just catting off. And he'd be like, it was a great vibe, man. You know the weirdest thing about that situation, though? Like 2-3 days before he died, he had hit me and was like, I think we was somewhere, he had seen me somewhere, and he was like, bro, let's go to the studio, bro, just knock out some shit, bro. He was like, you know, just in case something happened to a nigga, man, we had some music done. And my response to him was like, what you mean, bro? Like, you feel me? Ain't nothing gonna happen to you, nigga. Like, we good. We finna be here for a minute, bro. He's like, brother, you know how this shit be, bro. It'd be crazy. And I looked him in his eyes and was just like, and it was wild, man. We went to the studio. I think we knocked out like 6 songs that night. It was me, him, Ant, and Lev at the grill. And a few days later, blood, like, PK called me and was like, come to the hospital. I'm like, what? He like, Jack just got shot. Get here. And I don't think I ever drove that fast. I must have ran every light, man. I ran every light, man, and got to the hospital where when I got there, it was just me and P. And, you know, if you know PK, you know how he never bothered by nothing, but you could just see worry in him. And I was just like, I'm like, you know, how's it looking? Like, what's up? And then he came out. I remember the doctor coming out. When the doctor came out, he looked at P. And P looked at me, and he was just like, man, I was like, damn. I was like, damn, like, hell, like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, Jack? It just didn't seem like something would happen to Jack like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody loved Jack. Like, still to this day, I've never heard a nigga hate on Jack.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I've never heard a nigga say, oh, I don't like that. Nah,
Yeah, me neither.
Like never. I've never heard nobody be like, man, I don't like that shit. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, Jack was that was my dog, man. Like, I be looking at old school pictures and, like, you know what I'm saying, Ray be posting and she be having, and just over the years, somehow we always ended up being by each other. Like, it was weird. Like, it'd be 20 niggas in the picture and it's always just me and him by each other or something, you know? Then it go back to them days of being on a tour with you know, Mac Dre and Nickatina. We always had a room next to each other. Like, at the time, I was hustling. I was selling clothes then. So on tour, I was the clothes guy. Niggas would come to my room, F.A.B, bro, I need some jeans, bro. What you got in there? I'd be going to the magic shows, getting all kind of clothes from everywhere. So I'd be like, bro, I got like a size 38, bro, 40, what y'all? Just give me 50 for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was supplying the drip then, way before the dope era clothing, and we'd be on the road. Everybody was getting their clothes and gear and stuff from me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jacka be like, bro, come on, bro. I'm gonna pay you after the show, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And some of my best memories, man, in this hip hop, man. You know, Bay Area hip hop. Jack played a part of it. You know, for sure.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we got to put that on record, man.
For sure.
Y'all, on the surface level, y'all have very different styles, but it's cool to hear how closely connected.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, that was like, because he was a hip hopper.
Yeah, he was.
Like, a lot of people don't understand that. Like,
Yeah.
Jack was a hip hopper. Like, if you ever got a chance to ride with Jack, Jack could be, at any given time, it's Cormega, it's Nature, it's Nas,
Yeah.
then it's Sizzler. It's like, you know what I'm saying? He
A
listened
lot of reggae, too.
everything,
Yeah.
you feel me? But he like, Cuddy, this how my whole style come.
Mm-hmm.
Then you like, you know what I'm saying? You got a chance to be like, ooh, like, you heard it.
Yeah.
You heard all of that. You heard all the mixes. You heard all the mixtures. He was just, man, thank his mom, you know, and Pops, man, for creating him, man. And, you know, bless his mother's heart, because she's just such a sweet and beautiful woman, man. She continued to, you know, even through the midst of her struggles of, you know, losing him, then losing another son, and she continued to stay resilient and moving forward and hopeful and optimistic, man. And I can only imagine what a mother may be going through, you know, losing multiple children. But her smile is still beautiful. Her spirit is still amazing, and man, you know, man, bless, you know, bless the Jack, man, bless the Jack and everything he touched. And, you know, his little son is rapping now, and folks getting behind, you know, Lil Jack. So it's a beautiful thing.
We just had the mob figures at History of the Bay Day, and his mom was there, his brother, Lil Jack was rapping. It was beautiful.
Yeah, we did our prayer that day, man. We would have came, man. Me and Unk did our citywide prayer that we've been doing these prayers, man. Just gathering the city, asking people to come out, and, you know, we proud to say, man, you know, for the past 49 days, there's been no murders in Oakland. And to some people that may not be a lot, but for our city, man, that has witnessed a murder every other day, us realizing let's pull everybody together, man, and, you know, stand firm on what the community represent and be and hold each other accountable, man. That mean a lot. So we want to bring these prayers circles to every city and see how we could continue to keep working together to establish the common unity in our communities.
Yeah, that's big, man. And you're a busy guy. I feel like there's been a few opportunities that either you were doing something or I was doing something or this or that. But I'm glad we got to make this happen.
Yeah, for sure.
I couldn't have imagined. I mean, and I got to cut it short because we're running out of time. But I couldn't imagine having anybody else to be the first guest. Is perfect.
It's amazing, man.
To announce this opportunity here that we're setting up shop here. But you got to come back, because I feel like we only got like...
Yeah, we ain't scratched the surface, man. You know, to me, we talked about a lot of stuff, you know, from a personal level. I think, but some of the deepest things that I'm most proud about right now is the work that we're doing in the community with the thug therapy, with the restorative justice, with the social reform, with a lot of stuff that we're doing on the front line with the kids, going into the juvenile halls and these music programs that we're working on. To me, those are the things that I'm most proud about, outside of being a parent. My daughter, Liberty, my son, Legacy, as we continue to keep evolving. You know, my parenting is continuing to keep growing and learning how to be, you know, a better listener, a better friend. Those are all the things that I'm most proud of, you know, parenting and the community. And then what me and Unk is doing as far as the Unk and F.A.B show and how everything just been playing out the way that it's been, man. And then somebody who I felt like, you know, I didn't really mention enough in the midst of our movements back then, who played a lot of roles of you know, spreading around, was Juice.
Oh wow, shout out to Juice.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Your brother Juice and other Juice. Juice from Frisco. Like, to me, Juice, you know, when they did Bullies with Fullies, a lot of people love Mess so much that they forgot that Juice spearheaded a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like, Juice was a real person who don't really get a lot of the love.
He was behind the scenes for a lot of stuff.
Juice been a lot behind, you know what I'm saying? And Juice always, little bruh, come on. Like, he always hit me in the headlock with him, wherever. Like, I'm talking about, come to the point. It's 60 point niggas outside. It's me by myself. I'm like, oh, nigga. Like, bro, you good, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? My cousin T Woods at the time, you know, they pushing their lines. And, hey, man, I love San Francisco, man. I just love the whole greater Bay Area. But like you say, man, we got opportunity to talk about it. And hopefully God presents an opportunity for us to, you know, part 2 and part 3 of this history of the Bay, because a lot of people, when I hear it, even reading the comments, a lot of people be having a lot of stuff to say about the F.A.B nigga, right? Like, I ain't as influential as I am, and it'd be funny because I be keeping it cool and I be keeping it cordial, but at the end of the day, if I pop my shit, I could really pop my shit, because I'm very influential in a lot of stuff that's been going on around here, and just do it humbly, man, and I'm okay with that. But shout out to all my brothers, man, that's been working, that's been grinding. Shout out my brother Filthy, working from, you know, going from the big white tees to the Gucci fits, man, in front of folks' eyes, showing them that you can work your ass off and get to where you got to go, but it's going to take hard work. My brother Styling, Beta, all the dudes that's been really working and grinding, man, you know what I'm talking about? And I'm so thankful to watch dudes that I came in the game with still be relevant and ain't let the game tarnish their soul. And to all the icons and big homies that opened up the door, all the, you know what I'm saying, the JT, the bigger figures, the San Quins, the Messes, you know what I'm saying, the Juices, the Seth, the Gafflers, the all of these, you know what I'm saying, the RBLs. And when you get to naming people, it'd be tough because you might forget somebody and somebody may feel slighted by that. It is not my intentions to slight any of the pioneers that opened up the doors for Bay Area rap. And I just want to thank all y'all, man. So add your name in the hat if you felt like I didn't say your name, man, and it wasn't about me being slightful, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just thankful for y'all, man, you know. All y'all, man, the 40s, the shorts, the Selskis, you know what I'm saying, the Selly Sales, and everybody that didn't have something to do with it, man. Of course, the Richie Riches and Drew Downs and, you know, Yuck Mouths and all of them, man. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for opening up the doors and allowing cats like myself to have a place in this place called hip hop of the Bay Area.
Amazing. This is literally the history of the Bay right here, ladies and gentlemen.
For sure, man.
Mr. F.A.B, Forever After Bread, Dope Era. This is part 1. We're gonna run it back, part 2, 3, 4. I think we can go 4 or 5.
We got some time, man. We got some time. You know, our best years are next year, man.
Come on, man.
So when they see what we doing next, man, one thing about us, man, know that we always gonna be working and grinding. I want to send a big shout out to my brother, man. Welcome home, bro. Thank you for everything that you've been doing, man, all of these years of keeping me on track. Let's stay focused. In 16 years of being incarcerated, he wrote 18 books. We turning these books, a couple of these books, we turning them into a play. And doing some other things. The cell therapy is our version of thug therapy for those that are incarcerated. We gonna go behind those walls and help the brothers out from that diaspora. And hey, man, we got a lot of work to do, man. And I'm glad you home, man. You know, free the real, keep the fake, and let's continue to keep moving forward, man. The airway.
And you do know that.
Yes,
History
sir.
of the Bay. Shout out to D-Ray in the building. Shout out to my boy Trevor Potter. Shout out to Ghazi Empire, everybody, the whole team, everybody who's been supporting, all the fans, all the viewers, all the listeners, everybody who's had a part in this. It's Dregs One, History of the Bay, Mr. F.A.B. And we out here, y'all. Peace.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.